Planet Zoo can be incredibly frustrating when it comes to enclosure sizes for animals, especially when you think you've finally figured it out, but then all of the plants and rocks tank your traversable terrain score. So I'm here today with every single traversable piece of foliage to help make your habitats as gorgeous as always without affecting your animals' welfare. Welcome to Tips and Tricks, Episode 1. So here's our scientific method for proving which plants are traversable and which ones aren't. Step 1. Create an enclosure. Step 2. Put an animal in it. This is Holga. She'll be our test subject today. Step 3. Check the traversable terrain. You can do that by hitting this circle in the bottom left, or you can hit H on your keyboard. The second button will highlight where your animals can move. As you can see, right now Holga can move around anywhere in the enclosure. Step 4. Take the first few plants in the Nature tab and place them around the enclosure. Step 5. Check the traversable terrain again. This time we see some gaps in the blue highlights. That means the animal can't move there, making that piece of foliage not traversable. Step 6. Get rid of the plants that are not traversable. The plants that are traversable we're going to put to the side. So here we go. I tested all of the different species in the Nature tab. I did do all of these tests with plants aligned to the surface. These results may change if you're sinking foliage into the ground. I was also working on the assumption that if there are 3 versions of a plant, all of them have the same behavior. For example, there was no point in testing the large, medium, and small versions of the buffalo grass, or the regular, dry, and parched versions for that matter. Just one large, regular piece of buffalo grass was enough to give a conclusion about that plant's traversable area. I did want to make doubly sure that these elements were traversable, so I did a second round of testing with just the plants I had marked as such. As you can see, some of them still had a hitbox and forced the animal to walk over them rather than through, so those plants were removed from the traversable tag. But I'm not going to make you watch me do all that. After all, the reason why I did it was so you wouldn't have to. Instead, let's jump to the finished foliage palette. Here are all of the plants that are considered traversable. They will not impede the movement of the animal and won't take anything away from their habitat size needs. Here's an overview of my results. All of the grasses are traversable, including the tall grasses such as big bluestem and triodia. Similarly, animals will simply walk over the meadow flowers. Leaf litters are another, and so is moss. All of the flowering plants are also traversable, so you can make your enclosures extra pretty. Hanging plants such as both sets of ivy and the liana vine and Spanish hanging moss won't stop your critters. The grapevine is the only other type of vine that works. Low-growing ground covers like coastal pigface and lady ferns, and tree-growing epiphytes like bromeliads, kaha and basket ferns work well. And all of this tropical cover does too. These taller bushes are all traversable, as are these flowering bushes. For aquatic traversability, make sure to align the lily pads to the surface of the water and the underwater plants, well, underwater as the name suggests. These additional plants can sink into the water slightly and still be traversable. And finally, the only trees that animals will phase through are king ferns and cypress trees. Do note that this is not based on climbing traversability. So the rest of this video is a compilation of foliage palettes by continent and biome, along with the names of all of the plants within them. Feel free to continue watching or skip ahead to the chapter of your choice. If you found this video helpful, please do leave a like, but otherwise, happy planting! Hey, if you've made it this far, make sure to check out the link in my description for a full list of all of the plants in Planet Zoo, their traversable status, continent, and biome, plus some additional notes I put together. Thanks for sticking around. See you next time. Bye.